Budget-friendly meals that taste anything but cheap. Grocery prices continue to rise, and at this point, it's getting kind of crazy. And as a family of 5, we are feeling it too, for real. To investigate these rising food costs even further, I went to the USDA's website and utilized their food average cost chart to find out what it should cost my family of 5 for groceries each month. And the total came to $1,500 a month for 2 adults and 3 kiddos. It's just crazy. Hard to even wrap your mind around. If you're interested in that chart and seeing how much it'll cost your family per month, I'll drop a link below. With everyone feeling the pinch on food costs lately, I'm sharing budget-friendly meals that are tasty too. And this video starts my series of budget-friendly Flexitarian meals. So let's get cooking. If you're wondering what the heck is Flexitarian, let me explain. Flexitarian is a term for eating that's focused on a lot of plants, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, legumes, nuts, and occasionally eats meat. And what I like about the Flexitarian eating pattern is there are no strict rules. You can emphasize a lot of these whole foods, but also eat meat when you feel like it. And there's lots of definitions out there. You might hear that it's a flexible vegetarian or a vegetarian who occasionally eats meat. But it's what you make the definition, where you're focused on lots of plants, whole grains, all those wonderful things, and occasionally eat meat. We're starting with one of my most popular recipes from my website and one of the most requested recipes from my kiddos: whole wheat air fryer bagels. These bagels are made with Greek yogurt, which gives a great protein boost compared to regular old bagels. The recipe makes 8 bagels, and 1 bagel has 10 grams of protein. Plus, the cost to make this recipe is $3.21 for all 8 bagels, or just 40 cents per bagel. Now, if you topped your bagel with an egg, the cost goes up to 63 cents per bagel egg sandwich. Or what about half an avocado? That's my favorite. Then the cost would go up to just 79 cents per bagel. What's great about this recipe is everything gets dumped into one bowl and mixed up. You can do this in a stand mixer with a paddle attachment, or you can mix it by hand. Today I'm gonna mix it by hand just to show you that option. So the first thing we wanna do is dump in our flours. It's 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Then 1 tablespoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Give that a quick little mix so the flours and salt and baking powder are mixed together. Now we'll add in the Greek yogurt, which is 2 cups. So if you're using a stand mixer, make sure you turn it on low first, otherwise you're gonna be covered in flour, and mix until the dough comes together. We're gonna mix this by hand with a spatula until it all comes together. Now that our dough is mixed up, dump it out onto a nice big cutting board like I have here, or on a clean counter, and then knead it a few times with your hands just to fully incorporate that yogurt into the flour. I found that if you don't do this, then the dough's just not as smooth as I really like it. Next up is dividing the dough into 8 equal portions. You could definitely use a scale, see how much all your dough weighs, divide that by 8 and measure it out, or you can use Amy's eyeball method. Now we're gonna make them into bagel shape. So I like to roll them into a ball and then use my finger to punch a hole through the middle and then smush it a little bit to create the bagel shape, just like this. And remember, this is a sticky dough. The Greek yogurt makes it pretty sticky, so use a little bit of extra flour as needed on your hands to help the dough from sticking too much. Now we're getting ready to pop these guys into the air fryer. And if your air fryer requires preheating, go ahead and preheat it right now to 325. And then while your air fryer preheats, we're gonna make an egg wash. So crack an egg into a bowl and add 1 tablespoon of water. Then use a fork or a whisk to break it up so that it's all mixed together. Now we will brush each bagel with the egg wash and then sprinkle on the toppings to your preference. And I love everything bagel seasoning. So here we go, everything bagel seasoning on all 8 of my bagels. And now that our air fryer is heated up and our bagels are ready to go, spray the inside of your air fryer basket with a little bit of oil so that the bagels don't stick too badly. And put only 4 in at a time. Even if you have a bigger air fryer, if you crowd them, then the bagels are not gonna get crispy on the outside, which is what we want. So pop 4 in and then air fry them at 325 for about 12 minutes. And 12 minutes later, okay, let's take them out of the air fryer and definitely let them cool on a wire rack for at least 10 minutes because they are super hot inside. This is the hardest part for my kids because they want to tear into them straight away, but you want to let them cool for at least 10 minutes. And while these cool, let's put our other 4 into the air fryer and get those cooking. These bagels smell so good. Your house is gonna smell like a bagel shop. Delicious. With 10 grams of protein and just 40 cents per bagel, this is the perfect budget breakfast, lunch, or snack. Time to dig in. So yummy, and I know when my kids get home from school, this is what they'll have for their snack. Our next recipe is Lentil Bolognese. It's budget-friendly and flexitarian, and I'm telling you, you are going to love it. If you've never tried lentils, this is the recipe to do it. This meal is comforting, satisfying, and totally scrumptious. Plus, for a flexitarian twist, you could add ground turkey to the mix, which would boost up the protein and satisfy those who are looking for a little meat in their dinner. To start off, we're gonna cook our pasta. You're gonna heat a large pot with water, add a pinch of salt, and then pop it onto the stove with the lid to get it up to boil. And then cook your pasta according to the directions. Each one is a little bit different. Quick note, before you drain it off, we wanna save a half a cup of that pasta water because it's gonna be key later on while we make this dish. Then in a large pot or skillet, add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, put it over medium heat, and add the onion. And we're gonna saute the onion until it's nice and soft and turning translucent for about 7 to 10 minutes. Next, we turn down the heat to low and add our garlic. And we'll saute that for just 1 to 2 minutes until fragrant. We do not wanna burn our garlic. After the garlic has sauteed, we're adding everything else. 1 can of 28-ounce crushed tomatoes, then half a cup of vegetable stock. Now for our spices. We're adding a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of oregano, 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, but if you like spicier, go ahead and add more. And then salt and pepper. Give this a stir and let it simmer, partly covered for 15 to 20 minutes, stirring at least halfway. Then after 20 minutes, oh, look at this. It smells good. All the seasonings are cooking and blending together. Now we'll add a half cup of unsweetened almond milk, or you could substitute any milk you like. And now we'll also add the lentils. Make sure they have been drained and rinsed. Give this a stir, and we're gonna let this simmer for another 5 minutes. Now for the last step, we're adding our Parmesan cheese, half a cup. And next we're adding nutritional yeast. While I stir this, I wanna tell you about nutritional yeast. I wanna share a quick overview on what nutritional yeast is. It actually is a yeast that's been dried and deactivated, and it has a really delicious umami cheesy flavor, and it's used a lot in vegan and vegetarian recipes to get that cheesy flavor without having dairy. But the best part is that it's loaded with vitamins and minerals like magnesium and zinc and B vitamins. And for vegans and vegetarians, you can buy it fortified with vitamin B12, which is really essential for our health. And this is where we want to give it a taste and see if we need to add seasonings or add a little bit of that pasta water. Let's give it a mix. So if yours seems a little bit too thick, add a few tablespoons of pasta water. It's going to thin it out, but still have some flavor because that pasta water is flavored. Oh, it smells so good. This is such a comforting dish. I just love this one. And such a good intro into lentils. If you've never had lentils before, they are high in protein, they're high in iron and fiber. Now we need to taste test before we serve it. So flavorful. I'm gonna add a pinch more salt and then it's good to go. To go along with our budget-friendly flexitarian dinner, we are making the easiest and simplest side dish, roasted frozen broccoli. And we're going olive oil, salt, pepper. Our lentil bolognese is done. It took just 30 minutes to make. This serves a generous 6 portions. So I'm gonna scoop it out into my bowl, and it's just $2.68 per person. Loaded with protein, vitamins, minerals. I like to top it with a little extra Parmesan. More, look at that. And then with a side of crusty bread. Look at this delicious, nicely balanced, budget-friendly meal in under 30 minutes. Our entire dish, the lentil bolognese, our roasted broccoli, and the baguette is $2.68 a person. Filling, comforting, delicious. A perfect intro to lentils if you've never tried them. And remember, if you wanted to be a little more flexitarian, you could add ground turkey to plus meat up into this dish. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these budget-friendly flexitarian meals, whole wheat air fryer bagels, lentil bolognese with roasted broccoli and a side of crusty bread. So delicious. All for under $3. Hit that subscribe button so you can follow along for more recipes in this series, and hit the like button if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive. Bon appetit.